All right, we should be good to go. Should be. There we go. Hopefully everyone is having a fantastic day. I'm gonna try to start doing more streams more often. I just had a couple busy weeks, but yeah. So we're here and it's time to begin again. I'm gonna just share the link real quick. There we go. And now we're good to go. So, what have I been up to after our little mesh stream where I was trying to learn how to do procedural mesh generation, stuff like that? I've been working on the Vampire Survivor clone thing, which, one second, I'm going to move the mic for a second if you guys hear it. There we go. But I've been working on the little Vampire Survivor clone thing where I was just like trying to test out different things. As you see, I actually got like a okay start to it. So I actually have it where like I have like a little shield around the player that does damage, so I can actually do like abilities that follow the player. I also have it where if you notice that I have like a little vine that actually like pops up behind the player as he walks. So I actually have it where I can like spawn like a standstill ability stuff, and you see I also got it where I can actually like spawn a group of like projectiles. So, and I have enemy spawning. Also have like this like little health thing. Do you know I had a health bar that was literally just cross screen. I went and found some random like art and stuff. Now I gotta actually like update the health bar, so it actually doesn't work at the moment, and I gotta add in the new experience bar. But I'm gonna be working on projectile system today. As you see, like I actually have it where I can actually like spawn a projectile, but there's more that I want to do with this. So let's actually go into it. Let's go here. So I do have a base system that I was doing for testing. It's basically I can actually like choose how many like projectiles are actually fired. So I can go from like 15 to like 5. And as you see, like I'll actually like update and so forth. So I can actually choose like how much of the actual like stuff is actually like spawned, and like I currently have it where like your bullets just like spawn in a circular pattern just for like testing purposes. But I might need more than that. I might need less than that. We're gonna find out. But yeah, so let's actually start going into it and actually start figuring things out. I've been trying to figure out how I want to do this, and I decided that I would actually start like doing more planning out beforehand. So I do have some planning, but I'll be doing more. But for now, let's actually go into what I'm thinking. I want to actually make it where I have like a little struct here called physics projectile, and it's basically it's going to be like the actual like projectile and all that kind of stuff. Basically, what's going to happen is my physics projectile will actually be like the actual physics body, and it'll actually like send the data. So like the red circles are kind of like my debug, like testing out like spawning projectiles and stuff. We're gonna actually test out like creating different like patterns and stuff with them, and also like creating different setups for like spawning projectiles. I know it's a little overkill right now because I'm like spawning like a lot of projectiles, but that was more of a test. But I'll actually lower how many projectiles are spawned. There we go. That way I can see the screen easier. But I also want to make it where like you can get like level ups and stuff to actually increase the speed at which projectiles are actually like moving, and also increase their damage. So like actual like stats system for that will actually tweak projectiles. Let's actually start with like fire rate. So we have which like the fire rate is basically like how fast you actually can like spawn projectiles and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm thinking is basically inside of the actual physics projectile manager. This is my little thing that I'm going to be using to like just test spawns and stuff. Inside of it, I'm actually going to start creating like a couple different stuff for projectile waves, or like yeah, I'm actually, you know what, that's actually like a good idea, like call it projectile wave. And the reason why I'm saying a projectile wave, imagine that you have a character that spawns like different like more than one type of projectile. I don't want to limit like the players to like one different projectile, like if they find like an upgrade or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start creating a actual like system for like their actual like summoning projectiles at different speeds. So I'm going to actually create a public struct, and I'm going to call it a projectile wave. And inside this projectile wave, I'll actually have like a physics projectile. And basically, the physics projectile will actually allow me to, it's actually what we have like damage calculation, and also like it'll be what we use for like different physics contacts and trigger events. It'll be like, will be the actual like data representation of a projectile in the physics simulation. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say projectile. And for each like wave, I want to choose where like I can have like amount of bullets. So basically amount of like yeah, I'll say amount per, and this will actually let me make it where I can have like a stronger weapon only fire like 2 projectiles, while like a weaker weapon spawns like 12, something like that. So, and basically the goal is, I'm also going to say default 1, actually, well, can't say default 1 because it's struct. Well, I'll go in here is I'll say we'll have a public list for now. Actually, yeah, we'll do public list. And for now, I'm going to say projectile wave equals new. And we're going to actually have it where I can actually just tell each wave to like spawn. So it's or how this type of game is made. Oh, I've been thinking about like if I want to make this to a full game, I might make it a small game, like actual like full size small game. I actually started writing down like ideas for like lore and like actual like getting down like story settings and stuff. And I do mean like I've actually been getting a little bit more than what I was expecting. Even wrote down different ideas for characters and like stage maps, and also getting like the monster ideas down. So I might make it like a small game just for like a good test for my like tooling, because I've been working on a custom physics system for a while using like the physics core 2D module Unity introduced, and I think it's time to actually make a full-on game to just fully test it out. So it'll be a small game. I mean, it's not going to be like a grand game, but it's going to be at least a game that has gameplay and fun. But I'm thinking I am leaning towards not just making like a prototype for like a game in the end, but actually making a full-on game. But first I want to make sure like it is something that I can actually do within a reasonable time. So I'm making a small prototype to see, can I make it within a reasonable time? Is it worth my time to actually make it into a full game? Stuff like that. But yeah, what I'm also going to say is, let's do this. Oh yeah, we're also going to have a I'm not implementing this today. Well, actually, we might actually implement it today. But I was going to have it where each projectile could actually like have a targeting mode. So basically, what I'm thinking is basically different targeting modes for like how they target like enemies. So like closest enemy with lowest HP, or do they heat seek, or do they just go forward, stuff like that. So targeting properties, we'll say that. And I'm gonna actually go in here and I'm gonna say targeting properties equals yeah, I'll just default to make the enemy, like the player shoot, because at the current moment there's like I'm just spawning like the bullets. Oh wait, gotta hit save on this first. Oh, I saved on one button on the other file. I was like, what? Code should be right. There we go. Anyways, but like at the current moment, I have it where like, okay, I just shoot like a circle out like a wave of like projectiles out. I want to also make it where like instead of like shooting a wave out, you also shoot like a specific round towards like the closest target or something like that. So our targeting is basically interface that other like targeting options will have. So we have like a closest target here, and basically I'll implement this later, but I might have time today to do it, but we'll find out. But for now, I'm going to default to closest target. So basically the idea is like they will actually like spawn out in a circle, or like spawn out towards and like go towards a enemy, if that makes sense. What I might need is maybe like a different like a spawn pattern as well, because like okay, so yeah, because we might also need like a definition for like different types of like spawn patterns. So let's say like let's actually say interface for now. I'll say spawn spawn pattern, and basically this will actually let us like choose different patterns. Spawn, and an example of this would be like a actual like a what do you call it, like a circle spawn. We'll say like a circle spawn, and it'll be actually allow us to like choose how we spawn stuff. So for example, at the current moment, and here what we have is I can actually at the current moment I have it where there's actually like a little for loop, and basically inside that for loop I actually have like the calculation for like rotation, like this is actually where I'm like choosing like how to actually go around it. Yeah, so do you know there's like the box slider and rigid body, which is like what I would call like the old physics, and then there's the physics core stuff, and the physics core stuff is a lot more like low level. It allows you to make it's more flexibility and way more performance, but it takes a little bit more to set up, because like you since it, in exchange for being flexible, you actually have to write a couple of things yourself, but for the most part it's actually very easy to use. But anyways, before I forget, so basically we'll have like a actual like circle spawn pattern here. I can actually do something like this, where inside our struct we'll have a the actual like a like native array, and I'll say like instead of physics bodies, like with underscore, I'll actually do physics body, and I'll say physics body. Oh, actually, I need to actually introduce this real quick. The where, oh, I don't mean to meant to say t, where t equal t is like certain type of collection. I could say like a native array, and oh wait, actually, okay, sorry, not that, I meant unmanaged memory. For anybody wondering, unmanaged memory is like native array, like memory slices, like read-only stuff like that. So like anything that is actually considered unmanaged memory. And what I'll do here is I'll say t collection type. I'll say oh yeah, I can actually say that real quick, put that as in, that way it gives a little bit of performance. And I can also say basically like I'll probably just say like physics bodies, physics bodies. There we go. Now I can say this. I can say native array equals and there we go. Now we are good to go. I know like anytime I do a spawn pattern, it's going to be spawning a physics body. So this is, you know, you guys might see me do some horrifying, like actual, like more advanced stuff later. You might see me, actually doing some like actual grabbing RAM addresses. Yes, this is literally what, in a way, this is what it is. I'm actually like pointing towards like the inside of read-only span memory addresses and actually grabbing the values there. I gotta implement this, but that's not as important as the other stuff. So you guys might see a lot of horrifying, like manually touching RAM addresses down the line. So we do physics body, need a setup here, blah, blah, blah. And what we can do is we can actually say projectile data. Oh yeah, we're gonna do public projectile data. Projectile data. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. No, physics projectile. I have a reason for calling it that too. You know, instead of saying projectile data, I'm gonna say projectile physics. I know, like, that's literally the opposite of, like, the reverse of what the actual, like, struct is called, but that's okay. So I'm going to go on here, and I'm going to say projectile. Projectile, so get that. And actually don't need to worry about this. Okay, so the physics projectile or stuff should actually have a couple things inside of it where we can actually use. So like, for example, if I actually go in here, there should be like a, oh, actually I haven't put that in there yet. I was going to, but I haven't yet. All right, well, it's like, we will actually do what I was talking about right now. So we will actually get a public, and I'm gonna do a, trying to think if I want to actually, we'll need both of them, body definition, physics body definition, because I actually need to define the actual physics settings for the actual like projectiles. So we're actually going to say body definition, and basically in here I can actually say you know what? Before I actually set these up, I want to try something real quick. I want to actually go here and I want to say just body definition equals body definition dot default. Actually, let's do physics body definition, because there's actually like a default definition. If anybody's wondering what this default definition is, it's actually a Unity thing. I actually show it off real quick. There should be. We will actually get projectile physics on. Oh, actually, wait. No, I just need to comment that out for a second. This code won't be running right now, so it's okay to comment it out, but just to show this off real quick. So basically, we're going to be doing... Yeah, all right. So the idea is, inside our physics property manager, we will actually have a list of projectile waves. So as you see here, like I got my first projectile, and I can actually say like, okay, this is going to be 5. I can actually define stuff over here. I do want to test something out real quick. I want to see if I actually say linear velocity. I'm going to say actually like linear velocity equals. If I go in here, actually it's in this class. If I actually go in here and see where I actually call like the fire method is, we have like a little like linear velocity thing right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the body definition. I'm going to say that whenever you are using like physics body definitions, that's your starting value of the actual like physics body stuff. So if I do it this way, I can actually just tell it, I can actually use this value for like my starting projectile. So if I actually click this, as you see, yeah, so it actually like makes it where like the project, I can do like 10 for default, and then I can also do like 10, 10, and boom. So I might not need like the actual linear velocity. Yeah, there we go. That's actually good. I was wanting to make sure that with what I was doing, like that stuff would actually like I could actually like use this instead of like having to declare it, because up here I actually have like a starting velocity and I don't want to have to like define that as well. So what I can actually do is I can actually get rid of that. So now we're actually cleaning this up and we're actually starting to make it where we don't have to get the like we don't need as much stuff. Same thing with the like the actual like physics body definition. Where is it? Right here. We don't need this now. What I could do is I could actually go and I could say dot body definition. So we could slowly like start like getting some of the code that I had earlier up here. Like I can actually start removing some variables now since I've actually started doing that. I can also get rid of current target, like the current targeting. I no longer need that because that's actually now part of the physics projectile. So also I don't need the multiplier. What I can do is I can just say like for now I'm going to just say like let's do actually let's go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to say for that's actually, yeah, let's do all right, actually for now we're actually just going to say projectile waves just for now, and I'm going to say like 0 dot amount. I am going to be this like all this will be actually moving out this, like I'm going to be actually getting rid of this entire method. But as I'm doing it, I'm going to do it incrementally. That way I know I'm not like breaking stuff. But now if I actually like go back into Unity real quick, I should be able to say, okay, make the first shoot like the first bullet do like a 12. Okay. Oh, let's also do. Wait, did I set that up? Let me make sure I've said yeah, projectile data, check. Oh, for now I'm actually gonna say like 10, 10, and just for now, I'm gonna be doing a couple tests. Okay, make sure. Yeah, there we go. All right, so yeah, so we actually could start like moving away some of the stuff and actually start creating like more than just like, okay, red circles for testing. Good. So what I'm going to do is, well, we're going to have actual like projectile physics and a actual like circle spawn wave stuff. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to actually go, I'm going to actually say, we're going to actually grab like a spawn pattern. And I'm going to implement it here. And basically, the spawn pattern will actually let me choose like, do the bullets spawn in a circle? Do they spawn like as a like a barrage going forward, like a shotgun style, stuff like that? So they're like the actual like spawning of projectiles, or are they like fireballs that shoot like spawn around the player in like circle? If you ever played like Vampire Survivor, think of like the King's Bible where you have like 3 different Bibles like around you, stuff like that. I'm going to say spawn pattern. And I actually need to say this is serializable reference. And oh, I need to say native array, and we're gonna say physics body. Oh, physics body. There we go. And basically, what this will actually let me do now, I can actually go and I can actually like whenever. Like I can just make a method here called void fire, and I can actually just say like spawn, and I can actually pass in the physics projectile, like the amount of physics bodies and stuff here. So currently I have it where we have like a little like physics body allocated array. I can now actually take that and I can actually go into here I could also, I gotta grab the actual original. There we go. I actually go in here now. And the reason why I'm doing this is one, customization, two, crap ton of performance. Like I'm going to be multi-threading some of this. So, and I can also say physics world, world equals default world. Oh, sorry, physics world dot default. And then I can actually don't need to do that because we're actually inside of here. So I'm going to say projectile wave. Going to go. Oh yeah, here. Let's put this right here. Int amount. Yeah. And then I can actually like go down here and I can just say amount instead. So it starts to make the code a little bit cleaner, and I'm gonna just say amount. I'm gonna say like 1 at least. And I actually need to switch those, like order of like defining them. I try to like define them in the order that I actually like do up here. That way I can easily remember them, and I'm gonna say amount. And then we also need to set up the physics body. And I'm gonna say equals new, and we're actually gonna use a native array. I'm gonna say it's actually allocator, and we're gonna do a temp job because we're actually gonna be multi-threading this sucker. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say amount. So we actually got our like a native array that we're gonna actually be iterating over. We also need, no, actually I've already set that, do spawn pattern. I need to actually define a spawn pattern. And you know, we're inside a struct here. That's actually why I'm having to like create the default for all these, or actually define the default. I'm gonna just say circle pattern for like default for now. So yeah, that should be good. I actually need to go in here and I actually need to say public circle spawn. And I actually need to say physics projectile. And I'm going to just say projectile physics equals projectile. That way, like the reason why I need this is here now. I can actually go in here. And I can actually say like the actual body, stuff like that, and so forth. So now I can actually remove these, and yeah, so we can actually start going through this and actually implementing it down here. And starting velocity is actually just the body definition dot linear velocity. And the last thing we need to grab for here is the spawn position. For spawn position, I was trying to think of like what I want to do with this. I'm going to just use what is called a don't disable, destroy, or whatever. Yeah, no. Actually, you do want to disable, destroy, or whatever for unmanned stuff. You actually do want to. So what do I mean by that? So we have this thing. We'll use a physics. We'll actually depending on what you're using, you won't need to, or you won't even be able to. Let's say you have a handle here. If you notice, there's a thing called is valid. You'll also notice there's a thing called destroy. The body also has a destroy in it. You actually do want to do these. So the reason why you do want to do these is because you're actually wanting to clean up the actual physics simulation. So the physics world actually keeps track of everything, like every physics shape and physics body. And for each physics body and physics shape inside of it, that's it has to keep track of. It uses more CPU and GPU if you're using the compute shaders to actually do debug mode, because like the little like green capsule around my character is actually rendered with a compute shader. So you actually do want to clean them up if you no longer need them. And the reason why is because you actually want to remove them from RAM. That way there's less stuff that your GPU and your CPU has to keep doing simulations on. Yeah. There is some cases where you got to be very careful of like actually like doing like destroying them. Like for example, here you'll notice we got some unsafe utilities and a fixed pointer. If you destroy them and you try to like iterate over that value, and it's no longer a valid memory address, so it's no longer like you call destroy like if you say like body dot destroy dot destroy, what this will do is like the actual like body dot is valid, that this now is false after you call destroy, because the body is just a struct, and structs are value types, not memory types or managed memory. That's also why you'll notice that there's inside of my like I spawn like pattern in collection, I actually have it say you can only use unmanaged memory types. But now we also need to choose, we also need to set like the spawn point. If I actually go in here, basically all I was doing was a actual transform handle. A reason why I cannot use transform, if I do, I cannot use like a transform from a mono behavior or game object. This is a no-go. I have to use what is called a transform handle instead. So, for example, transform handle, and literally all the transform handle is literally just a, I'm not kidding, it's pretty much just like a enter pointer towards a reference entity ID. And basically, because it's only like a actual like a data struct, you can burst compile it, you can shove into iJob and stuff, and you can do like memory management on it without worrying too much. Now, do know you can actually use like you can actually inject C# classes. Like you can use managed memory in burst compiler and inside of the actual iJobs. You just have to use a unsafe utility. So Unity actually has like a unsafe utility, and you can actually get like array element as ref, and you actually just use a void pointer. So like for example, I could have like a let's say a well, we'll just actually say to transform, for example, T. I can actually say unsafe utility, and I can actually say I can do a couple things here. You'll notice that though, I want to also show this off. Be careful when doing these, because you'll notice some are ref and then some are struct. So some of them you cannot do, and then some of them you can do on reference types. But basically what I was going to say is you can actually do reference type stuff inside of the burst compiler and so forth. You just got to be very careful, because you actually have to declare unsafe. Like you actually have to declare it as unsafe, and that's when you get into like, oh, are you going to crash someone's computer because you messed up in code? For example, like you'll notice that, notice I have a fixed here and a T type pointer. Let's go to class definition. I actually had to declare the entire like static class here as unsafe. So got to be careful with those kind of things, because like the reason why you have to declare it as unsafe, you're literally saying, hey, I might mess up memory addresses, or I might like mess up stuff like that and cause like a memory corruption that just crashes hopefully only your game. Hopefully. I've seen some funny cases. ADHD, where was I? Oh yeah, I was doing these transform thing. So what I want to do is I want to have it where yeah, let's actually do this here. For each spawn wave, projectile waves, yes, sorry, projectile waves, wave, I'm gonna say projectile wave dot, I'm actually gonna do, we're almost done, like the physics projectile and stuff is like a huge like a huge thing. We're actually gonna say public transform handle, and we're gonna just say transform handle. There we go. And this handle will be injected into our actual like circle spawn stuff. For example, we can actually get a spawn point from there. So I'm going to say transform handle equals I'm actually going to catch this once. Var handle equals transform handle. And then we're actually going to say this. I know this like may not look very oh, sorry, not for 1 second. I meant to say I need to do a for loop on that one. Projectile waves dot count, and we're going to say actual projectile waves I dot transform handle equals handle. Oh, hi Trixie. Oh wait, oh, whoops, I forgot. Okay, so fun fact, this is actually a since this is actually a actual like struct, I can't actually do this. So actually what I need to do is I actually need to say public void set transform. Oh, 1 second. I'll be right back. My dog's asking me to let her out. She needs to go pee. I'll be right back. Can you go out? Can you go out? All right. Sorry about that, guys. She just wanted attention. She didn't need to go bathroom. She just wants attention. She's a little puppy. Anyways, so what I'll do instead, I'll say set transform handle. And she shut herself in. My goodness, my little puppy here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Color. Oh, the joys of having a little puppy. Anyways, sorry about that. Back now. So what we gotta do is we actually gotta say a transform handle, and I'll just say handle here. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that this handle is actually valid. So if handle is not valid, we're gonna return. I mean, actually, I could just say if handle is valid, then we'll just say like transform handle equals handle. And the reason why we got to check to see if it's valid or not, since the transform handle is just a struct in unmanaged memory, you literally cannot check null. Like there's no like null checking for this. So instead of null check, you have is valid check. So what we'll do here is we'll actually go back, and instead of this, we'll say set transform handle, and we'll do this. So there we go. We'll actually do that. Now inside the projectile waves, we can actually start. Oh, we don't even need. Well, yeah, we can almost get rid of all this now. Let's actually see how far we are into getting rid of this. So we have our actual like a projectile wave, actual like a projectile thing, and let's actually do this. So we are making sure I got everything. Oh yeah, I was like, wait a second. I feel like I wanted to, there was something down here I needed to actually do. But yeah, so basically now we can actually call like our actual like spawn pattern. So inside our circle pattern here, we can actually do the spawn. And all I got to do for this is I just got to pass in this. I'm actually going to pass it in as ref, and basically actually go in here. Oh, actually, yeah, it'll be an invariant. Oh, well, actually, no, I could do this. I just won't be able to use like in there. Yeah, I just won't be able to use in there. That's okay. But I need to pass this in as a actual like ref for the native array. So now I can actually go here and I'm gonna actually close out of these. I just had them open earlier. So here we go. And we actually, due to little spawning, we're almost able to set this up. So basically, whenever we actually, so basically, inside our physics manager, we will actually basically keep track of each like spawn. And I need to also check this out. Let's do this. Oh, we're gonna actually need a public timer. Reason why we need a public timer is that way we can actually keep track of like the spawn rate or like spawn times and stuff like that. If anybody's wondering what the timer is, it's a custom script I did. It's basically allows me to actually like have different like actions run and stuff whenever a timer finishes, and it's waitable, so I can actually just like await and say await bool until it's actually ready good. Hey Nymph, how are you doing? How are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm kind of just currently setting up like a very massive system for creating like basically like a projectile spawner, like a very customizable projectile spawner. So timer, and I'm gonna say spawn timer.duration. Now this may seem really weird, and I know it's gonna look very weird. Actually, I don't need to do that actually, since this is actually struck. I'm gonna actually say 1.5f, like give it a default value, and I can actually say fire. Oh yeah, okay, we can actually not say fire because when you're like during the constructor of like a struct, you actually can't actually pass in like the values of like methods until they're actually like compiled yet, and that happens after the struct. So I'll just have to, basically what I'll have to do is I'll have it where we'll just have it where there's actually like a method that actually calls like the fire. You know what? I got an idea. Yeah, so what we'll do here is I can actually just say, yeah, we'll do this. I'll say for projectile waves, actually, since I already have it up here, I can say projectile waves dot set, and I can actually say projectile wave dot do projectile wave dot, and we can actually go in here and just say like start wave. And I know it seems very like complex and so forth, and maybe like a little over engineer, but once I show you like how much you can actually do with it, it'll quickly become like, oh, okay, this is actually like really useful. So I'm gonna say right, projectile dot yeah, should be, yeah, I can actually just do here. So we'll actually say fire here, and basically whenever we fire, we can actually do the spawn timer. But here I'm gonna actually say I'm actually gonna say see, I could do this a couple different ways. You know what? Actually, yeah, I could just say projectile. Oh, no, I'm gonna say oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I spawn pattern, and I'm gonna actually say native array physics body. And what I'm going to do is, oh, actually, wait, I can do this a little bit simpler. I can actually go here and I can just say spawn pattern, and I can actually just say spawn. And then, yeah, we can just do this. Yeah, okay. And then just pass this in by reference. Okay, yeah, so basically we have our physics projectile manager that controls like all the spawn waves and stuff like that. And do know, I'm going to be removing like half of this stuff now because this was like just for testing purposes. We can actually get rid of this now. The projectile, or the projectile manager, will keep track of like all the types of projectiles and spawn, stuff like that. It'll tell each one of them to initially fire, or to actually like start the wave, And basically each wave will actually start shooting, like telling the projectile spawn and stuff like that. Argument type void is not assignable to so yeah, all right, good. So we're actually going to have to do something else because I just So this actual like on timer completed, yeah, it's actually just like an action. And basically, well, I actually haven't had to have a like actual like timer thing. You know what? That's actually no. I got an idea. I got a weird idea around this. I do mean like a weird idea around this. I actually say void spawn. But I actually have this as that. This actually would be, yeah, this might actually be useful now since I think about it. Because I might need to have it where like there are times like I might need to actually like manually call that. So this might actually be a useful thing instead. I could just say spawn ref and oh yeah, so I still will actually have to do something like this because I need to actually make it where I can pass in like the physics like bodies at some point. Well, you know what? That's okay. I can actually do this. I can actually just do ref. We'd actually just do this. And what I'm going to say is, whoops. I'm trying to think like, oh yeah, because it's, okay, so this is one of the problems with like older servers in Unity. That's actually not, okay, they'll be literally usable before the end of the week because core CLR literally comes out either this week or next week. That actually requires like updating to like the version of Unity with core CLR. What I was about to do, I do. Okay, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. That is perfectly fine. So what I can do is actually do something like this. I can actually do, yeah, I can actually say, no, you know what? Yeah, I can do this. I can do this still. What we will do is actually say, physics body. I'll say, yeah, we got this. Okay, we can actually still do this. What I'm gonna say is, now this is the fun part about rolling out your own like physics situation or like and all that kind of stuff. But actually, yeah, this might actually, okay, yeah, from here I don't need it public. Okay, yeah, we could do this. Oh, it is gonna work. Okay, we got this. So if I actually go back to where I was trying to like set like the actual like timer right here, I can actually just say spawn. Yep. Okay, that will work now. All right, cool. So, and all I got to do is just make sure whenever I'm like where I'm like defining this. So like right here, I'm going to need to make it where I can say like I can actually just say this, and then rep. Oh, you know what? Do. Yeah, need this actually needs to be. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm going to question this. I really am. I don't know if this is actually a thing that actually would work. I want to see if this is actually possible. So it's going to look weird. I know it's going to look weird for a second, like duplicating code. I want to see this. And then if I say ref physics bodies. Oh my god, it does work. Okay, okay. So the reason, like, if you notice, whenever I put this up here, I get an error. But if I put this down here, I don't get error. But if I remove this, I also get an error. Okay, so what it is, since this is a struct, all values need to be like a defined set in the current version of .NET that Unity supports. So what you could do, I can just literally say like give like the spawn pattern a literal new like constructor call, and it will consider that value set. So now since all the values are set, I can actually then just override what I just created. So it looks weird. It is weird, but at the current moment, that's what I'm gonna have to do. That's actually like a Unity thing. Okay, so we now have it where we can fire the we can do like a start wave. So we can start the wave. We set the transform handle, which is used for like the spawn position of the bullets. What else do we need? Oh yeah, I'm actually going to take these two because we actually need to take these into here. And I'm actually going to, or forget, I'm actually going to, oh yeah, I just realized. I'm going to need a, for default, just for now, I'm going to default this to like a circle geometry. I was going to say I'm going to actually have to like define what kind of bullet and stuff we want, but that's okay. I'll say circle geometry for now. And then I can go down here and I'll actually say shape definition is trigger. And then we will also say like a shape definition dot shape definition equals, and we're gonna say physics shape. Oh yeah, and then we need to have. All right, let me actually organize these a little bit more. Okay, so that way we have the bodies, like the body variables. And then I can say like, just for now, I'm going to say equal, yeah, I'll just say like equals new for now. That literally should be it. Yeah, so, because I probably won't be doing this today, but here I can actually choose like create like custom physics geometry and stuff. I think that is actually it. So like before we only had one single bullet. We literally only had one single bullet. Oh, I'm also, just for, so I don't have to like actually do this, like, so I don't have to remember this, I'm also gonna set this up. It's literally a, just a 64-bit integer, or just so I can actually, like define like what layers the bullets can like hit and everything. All right. So make sure bullets can actually, or like any type of projectile can trigger events. They all have a specific collision set. We have our spawn timer. After the spawn timer is actually set, we can actually go down here. I can say start. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore because this is actually done inside of the actual like actually we might want this actually now since I think about it. For now, I'll keep it just for now. Because I just realized I might be able to just get away with it. Like I might be able to just say like here do like a T collection. Yeah. Sorry, a T collection, and yeah, I might not even need to like do that, like this stuff anymore. But for now, I'm actually going to keep it the current way because I have a couple ideas. Okay, so we got our timer, we got our spawn pattern, we got our actual like physics body, we got our physics shape. got our actual like array of physics bodies that the ones that are actually going to be created. And then we got our spawn pattern that takes in our stuff, and then we have our like actual damage settings. And I'm gonna just say damage settings or damage properties. Okay, so now we have a way to choose a spawn pattern for projectiles, the shape of the collision, how much damage, how fast they are, and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully. Hopefully. That is a huge change of like how it was being done before, so there's probably like a mistake or two. Oh well. Don't need this anymore. Actually, wait, let's make sure I didn't like break anything. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that, and I'm gonna just say gonna just like actually switch it up there. Yeah, we're gonna do this for a second. As far as I know, I haven't like actually like removed anything from down here. So I'm gonna, before I do the new code, I want to make sure like any of the changes I did didn't break what already exists right now. I might have forgotten to hit like save and like, oh yeah, I did. One second, I need to hit save on this file. I was like, wait a second, I didn't hit save all, did I? I only hit save single file. There we go. Okay. So, okay. Yay. Okay, so this is the current system where we can actually like shoot like we actually can create like a pattern. I have a circular pattern as default right now. And you see like our passive ability where we create like a trail of like thorns and stuff actually work and all that kind of stuff. So that works now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to no longer need that one. I might need this one, but yeah, we're gonna find out. Get target will actually need to be put inside of here because of the actual like eye targeting properties. So I'm going to just move this down here for a second. I'll just shove it after like the calculate damage. I somehow I somehow hit cut and it didn't like actually like copy it to my keyboard. So when I hit paste, it just pasted a blank line. I'm like, all right, so we should be able to remove this now. What I'm gonna do is just for my own sanity's sake, I'm gonna actually I'm not even gonna delete all this. I'm gonna actually just instead of like deleting all this, I'm gonna just set this up here. That way, if I do break, if something did break, which let's face it, with how much I just changed, like I just changed like 200 lines of code, and with a lot of other stuff, so I probably did break something. So we might have like small tweaks here and there. So yeah, but that's something I'm expecting. All right, I'm gonna just say transform handle for now. Don't need that anymore. There we go. All right, so set the handle, start wave, projectile fires. Projectile actually sets the spawn pattern and tells it spawn. We actually might not need the below part. Yeah, spawn pattern spawn. And what we might actually can do, oh yeah, so we can actually say oh, instead of saying that, I'm gonna actually just say spawn. That way it actually calls down here. So let's see. What I might actually do is inside of here, since we might even not need this, or like some of this. No, since I'm like got other stuff cleaned up. All right, but that's okay. Time to just like go and test this out. I need to just do one tweak, and that is actually in the fire thing, because I actually need to set the spawn. I need to just set the spawn pattern physics bodies. Yeah. Okay. So let's go set the spawn patterns physics bodies real quick. Don't really have a method for setting them. Yeah, actually, I'll do this. I will say public key collection type physics collection. All right. Physics, yeah, we'll just say physics collection. And oh, right. Cannot have actual like star or like instance fields. Well, that's nice. That's okay. So screw that. We're gonna just say we'll just say public, or yeah, we'll say void set collection. And just say ref t collection type. I'll just say physics bodies. And basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually say, yep, yeah, this should work. So I can actually go down here and I can actually say public void, because remember that was the base interface for like all spawn patterns. And I can say this real quick. And now all our huge, nice, complicated. What's the reason for turning off autosave and writer? So there's a reason for that. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's say I have like I'm in the middle of doing a code thing and it autosaves. So like there's an issue where like sometimes it would try to do autosave when you're just idle for a few seconds. So when you're working with certain things like iJob parallels, iJob like parallel 4, stuff like that, or if you wrote your own, like you're rolling out your own custom physics stuff. Well, if I actually go inside my physics thing real quick, so let's actually go into my custom physics components. So here's the thing. This is actually burst compiled and it execute always. So if I hit save and it compiles and it gives error, most of the time no big deal. But with background running threads, like in edit mode, even not even in play mode, and the reason why that has to be done is because I mean you guys want to be able to like see your actual like physics shape and stuff and actually edit them inside the scene, not just like pray they look what you expect like whenever you hit the play mode. If you run into issues and it just like Unity or JetBrains Writer does not like dispose of the memory, you get a memory leak. You get a memory leak. Not in your game, on your computer. Like Unity will warn you. Like you'll actually get a warning from Unity, and for reference, like you'll see here leak detected. Do note that is actually because I'm in the middle of like cleaning a couple things up. That is currently self-inflicted. I'll fix that in a second though. But you can get a memory leak and you'll have to like close out Unity and all that kind of crap to basically like make it where it like goes away. And if you do it wrong, you can get like 10 gigabytes of RAM in like seconds. I mean seconds. I know from experience because when I was first learning how to do like unsafe utilities and stuff, I literally allocated 12 gigabytes of RAM in a split second. I was like, all right, whoops. Using like execute always in edit mode and also like using a burst compiler. That was a interesting learning experience. That was like when I was first learning how to do this. I was like, okay, I've made sure not to ever forget that that is a thing that can happen. Okay, yeah, so, and the reason why we're having to like create a method here for this is, again, it's a struct. You can't just like do certain like assignments and stuff to a struct. So I actually have to come down here and I have to say like set collection. I could just say physics body. And now whenever we do hit the spawn, it should actually use this. Oh, whoops, I just realized. I was like, wait a second, something doesn't look right there. All right. Yeah, so now whenever we spawn it, it will actually, I could actually just also like set this here. I might actually, oh no, actually I can't, because like the actual like method. The reason why we need a void method is because actions like is expecting like actual like void value, not like a unmanaged memory value. Compiler will actually yell at us. Okay, so spawn check. I think that's it. Okay, so let's uncomment this. There should be, now we should be able to say projectile dot shape definition. We'll say dot circle geometry. I can actually like pull this over. We no longer need to reference it. And physics transform. We can actually, I could actually do this as well. Let's actually go down here. And, I should also say, actually, wait, didn't I shove like the transform handle in here somewhere? I thought I did. I like shove a transform, yeah, projectile wave. Oh yeah. All right, I'll be able to clean this up better later, because it does seem like I'm having to like pass down stuff a little bit more than what I want. But that's okay. Well, I can do here, I can actually just say transform handle. I can just say equals default transform handle. Yep. And there is actually a difference between like default and then default transform handle, even though like the IDE says no. Okay, so set up the physics world, set up a collection, create the body batches. All right, now do you know when I first hit play, it's only gonna fire it once, because I haven't said what like in the like on. Well, actually, I just realized something. Oh no, yeah, no, I am forgetting something. Spawn timer dot start timer async, and I need to discard here. There we go. I was like, wait a second, I'm not actually setting the fire, or like doing this fire rate spawning. Okay, now we should be good. Because I can actually, is the actual like spawn position stuff, like, kind of tempted like actually just say like a transform handle equal, and actually like set that as a default value as well, for a couple reasons. And the reason why there's like seems to be like nested calls of like this is, remember, this is the actual interface, so like the interface actually is telling me like, okay, I need to like set it this way. Oh, but then they'll make it where I can't do the action thing again. I wonder. Yeah, okay. Does... Okay, I want to see something. It's gonna be like really, you guys are gonna see like some really weird syntax for a second. Well, I want to see spawn pattern. If I want to do like a maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. Okay, spawn pattern. Nope. Okay. Oh yeah, because it'll actually like lose reference from here. Well, I could just say yeah, never mind. Okay, there is a way to do it, but that'd be getting into more of like a nuisance thing. So yeah, okay, never mind. So to prevent that headache, we will not do this. Guess what I can do is I can just say like a yeah, I could just say like a actual, yeah, we'll just do this for now. Transform handle, and I'll just say transform handle, and I'll actually just say get set, just for now. Actually, I could just say get for now. And I could actually do, yeah, I could just say public transform handle, and I'll just say transform handle. And I'll actually just say get set here. And yes, you can just say like get and then be like, you know what, never mind, do a get set and the place you enter like forced in. All right, so now hopefully form handle so hopefully what I'll do is like there should be like a yeah vector2 okay, this huge stupid rework is done. We should be good, and I'll just say transform handle, because since this is not a reference, it's a value thing. Instead of checking null, we check to see if it's valid, and we'll just say vector2.0. This way, if like the handle is not valid, we'll still have like a spawn position. Holy crap, is that it? Are we good to go? We'll find out. I have no idea. Hopefully I didn't miss the spot. Oh, I forgot to get rid of that. Okay. Now that may seem like a whole crap of stuff, but again, like it'll open a way for a lot of customization. Wait a second. I'm assuming it is the spawn pattern. Yeah. Okay. Let's actually. Okay, let's actually check to see, because it looked like it gave us a nice little error right there. Right, 144, I'm assuming. Debug mode time. All right, let's check this out. Okay. Yeah, okay. You'll also notice that even though like we're doing a oh wait, did I spawn pattern should be set as a yeah, okay, yeah, spawn pattern is set right here. Oh. Oh, I actually know what happened. Okay, so because this is not the actual like default constructor because it expects a body. Okay, that's okay. I actually do not need that anymore. I realized I forgot to I actually realized I forgot to remove that because I actually do not need that anymore. And we're gonna say yeah, I can just say new physics body here. I actually forgot to remove that. All right, there we go. Because I actually had a required variable right there, it was actually causing that to never be set. So because it was never set, there was a null reference. All right, sorry about that. I completely forgot. Also, Unity, the curl error 3 thing, it's kind of weird to just see random like errors related to that. All right, now we should be good, or not. Well, that's just rude. Oh, okay. So the reason why that happened is because we already have, like, Unity already serialized that value. I gotta actually just go to the player prefab, and we just gotta go up here. And I actually just got to tell it to actually basically like we're gonna go here. I'm gonna actually just say, yeah, well actually I can just like delete it and then create a new one. And now there should be a actual like a thing. Current to gravity scale, yes. Sleeping allowed. Make sure that stuff. I'm gonna set a default so I don't have to like set these every single time. I'm gonna say this wave fires like every 1.5 seconds. And make sure that I actually got the actual thing. I'm gonna say starting with like the speed is actually gonna be 4. And make sure it's triggered and everything like that. And yeah. I'm gonna have to make it where like these are like set on like default. All right, so enemies and let's say platforms. So like bullets will also hit like walls and be destroyed. Make sure density is 1. Also do that as well. I should only have to set this up once, hopefully. Also, I'm gonna make it where it like locks rotation. That way we don't have any weird rotation. Oh, actually, no, wait. We do not want the rotation locked. I just realized something. All right, 0.25. Start that. Make it the. Oh right, I forgot. There's a amount down here as well. Okay, well, don't need that amount at the moment. And Nani? Okay, that should have been actually set now. That should actually be set now. Because this should have ran. Okay, I'm gonna hit play real quick and I'm gonna see. Yeah, spawn pattern should have been set like right here. Okay, well, I have an idea of what happened, but just to make our lives easier, I just want to actually test this out first. So I'll just say spawn pattern equals, yeah, we'll just shove this there for a second. I know there's duplicate things. Just don't worry about it. It's okay. Yay. All right, so I did shoot 1 bullet. That's actually what I was wanting. I was just wanting to make sure that, okay, we can actually fire stuff now. So, okay, so yay. All right, so we actually fire stuff again. I know, it's literally like, oh no, it's been broken, but that's okay. Spawn ref, so make sure that the actual like angle delta, let's make sure this is actually being reached, because this is actually where like the rotation stuff should actually be being set. And it looks like some of the rotation is not being set properly. Yeah, so let's actually go here. I'm gonna make sure I didn't actually tell that to lock. All right, so let's see where this is going. Okay, so make sure. Oh, that transform handle is questionable. How long is our physical body? Okay, yes, that's correct. Angle delta should be 36. So like each bullet is spawned 36 degrees away from the other one. Go down here. Physics body is ooh. So why is this oh, what is that? Okay, so it actually took a little bit of time for this to actually like set in. Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, okay. We because the physics are not single threaded, and I'm creating them from batch, that can be a fun time. But that's okay, because what I can do is I could actually just say Oh yeah, I need to actually wait a second. I actually need to do this real quick. Hmm. I actually am thinking that I do not need the actual like body in here. But for now, actually, let's try this for a second. I'm gonna see if this is a. I'm gonna say this. Oh, I'm gonna check this out real quick. We're gonna check this out because it looks like it just wasn't getting turn like the ref value set properly. So there we go. All right, yeah. So there we go. Okay. So I want to see, make sure the timer actually is starting. Timer. Wait, oh, it's somewhat. So, the timer needs to start so that way it can actually, yeah, okay, start timer, blah, blah. Let's actually go in here. Yeah, okay, so start the timer, make sure, check this out. Yeah, we're returning waitable, we're returning state machine, and now on timer. Okay, yeah, so remaining time equals 1.48. Oh, is inspector just, wait a second. Let's do this. I'm gonna actually see. Okay, so for a second it looked like maybe the inspector just was not updating. Hmm. Let's actually go here then. I'm going to go into. Actually, I know the like the spawn timer thing is actually going on. So because like the same timer system that's used for spawning bullets are also used for spawning enemies, and the enemies are spawning. So all right. So what I'm going to do is here I'm going to actually go. I'm going to actually go here. I'm going to say I'm actually going to put this here, and we're going to see. So I know it's going to spawn the first time, but I want to see if it will go off the second time. Okay, it did go off the second time. So yeah, physics body, length, spawn position. Is it saying the transform handle is not valid? I'm assuming that's where our fun times are happening. Yeah. All right, so yeah, it just looks like the transform handle is not being valid. If that is the case, that's okay. Yeah. So I know like timer in general is working fine, but for some reason it seems that did I not set this? Okay, yeah, transform handle, yeah, so basically set that. I did say set, or like call set transform handle, right? Right, there should be like a call to the set transform handle. Yeah, okay, so projectile wave, yeah. Handle, transform handle. Oh, I set the I never passed it in here. I was like, there we go. Okay, make sure I like that was actually set correctly. And then like yeah, okay. That's where we're going. That's where I forgot when I had to set this up that oh yeah, it's gonna say yeah. All right, let's actually I could just like do like a if cast to like circle, but that's okay. It's easier just set up here. Okay, so that's where So you're gonna be going, yeah. So this is the fun part of like figuring out stuff with like native memory and also just like in general, like trying to create a customizable, like highly customizable system. Because like it, okay, so it still spawned. Well, I noticed it actually spawned in the right spot. No, it did not. Okay, we're gonna actually just go through the entire process real quick then, because somewhere along the way, this is actually not. Yeah, so we're gonna start from here. Or actually, we're gonna start from the very beginning. We are gonna go and we're gonna say we're gonna start from the very beginning. All right, so let's do this. All right, so is this valid? Let's see. Okay, yeah, so the handle is valid. Next, we go into here. Oh, I accidentally like, let's do that again. Yeah, so the only reason why I'm doing like the low level physics stuff is because I'm wanting to get one performance, like for represent like reason why I want to do a custom like environmental interaction system. So like imagine like an oil spill and you ignite it and it burns. I want to do freezing water. I want to be able to actually like do custom stuff with that, but I also want to do like sprite destruction and the normal physics system. Yeah, it's just really bad performance. I don't want like any of my players to have to worry about performance issues. I want anybody to be able to play any project I do on like any device, like as much performance as possible without worry. Because I feel like a lot of developers these days, I always hear like, oh, you don't need to worry about optimizing your game into or like micro optimizing. Generally, that's right. But with RAM prices and everything as much as they are, people that are going to have like games that run on like lower end hardware better will have a little bit more cells because no one wants to spend a lot more money on like higher RAM prices. I mean, that's not the only reason. There's also other reasons why I'm doing this. This is a learning, like a lot of times when I'm like doing the streams and stuff, it's me learning, like actually like trying to figure out stuff. Okay, why is it actually injecting? Okay, so how about this? Instead, it's actually like inject me out right there. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'm going to go here and yeah, we're gonna just go here and do this. I'm gonna have them both open. Again, I'm gonna so what I'm gonna do is right here, I'm gonna actually go inside the start wave thing. And we're actually going to go here. This is where we're going to be. So that's where we're going to start. Yeah, let's go in here. Let's dive. Okay, so what is going on? Why? Okay, so yeah, why is that happening? Okay, transform handle is okay. I'm gonna just check out something real quick. Is Unity giving back a debug like a invalid handle? That would be really annoying if that was like actual thing like Unity was doing. So I'm gonna check this out because I'm starting to think that yeah. It is okay, Unity, come on. That is actually what is happening. Okay, so this handle is not valid. But here's the thing. Why is it not valid? Because I'm literally grabbing it straight from the actual like game object. Unless it's not valid inside a wait, I wonder. Okay, is that actually the problem? Does Unity not validate the actual transform handle until like a start? Is that actually it? Is this literally all it is? Alright, so that's gonna be great. So here's the thing, you say perform because Box 2D. I'm using Box 2D. That's what this is. Literally, so Unity had the box colliders and rigid bodies was built on Box 2D version 2.4. When Box 2D version 3X series come out, the creator of Box 2D went from C++ language to C language. So Unity, Mel made a head like the main guy behind the 2D physics stuff. He kept the like to allow people to continue using the old Box 2D. You know, they kept a box slider and rigid body, and that's the stuff people know. But for people that want to use Box 2D version 3.1, which is the newest version of Box 2D, by the way, that's actually what the physics shape is. So like the physics shape and everything, if I go to, or in like physics body, circle geometry, that's Box 2D. Physics body, that's Box 2D as well. Like this is literally Box 2D. If I actually, yeah. So like, it's just that the old collider and rigid body stuff is built on components, not structs. So they're not burst compatible. You can't customize as much. So like, you know, it may seem like I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm able to like customize a lot of stuff. And it just came out, so like obviously I'm still like learning and stuff, but for what I can get done with like once I actually am getting more and more understanding of it. Oh my god. Okay, so depending on when you're calling this, this actually is, so like let's go back here. That's wild. That's actually wild. Okay, so when I did the debug stuff here, all right, so yeah, so, oh my god, what is that about Unity? I don't know if I need to report that or not. Okay. Okay, sorry, 1 second, because my theory was right about something being up here. Transform handle wake. And then I'm gonna just take this. We're gonna go down here, like and the is valid. I'm gonna just copy this in here as well. But I'm gonna actually say capitalize. Okay. Let's say start wave. This should be a fun one. This should be a very fun one. So when I tested it inside the start wave earlier, it gave a false, but the line before start wave is called it's true, and the line after, what is that? Why? Yeah. So the line before, literally, I'm not kidding, like the line before, it's valid. So, but then when I call it, it becomes false, and then it leaves that method and it becomes valid again. What kind of bullshit bug is that? Oh god, that probably actually would be explain a lot of like issues I ran over the last few streams, because I was also having transform handle issues inside of with mesh generation. That's what it is. One, like literally it goes from being valid to not valid and then back to valid. All right. Okay. That's an issue. Okay. So set transform handle. And I want to see. So this handle right here is literally being called right here. So this handle should be the handle that I'm checking here. Like it, we're gonna see. I swear, if I see two trues and a false, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh, I forgot to say is valid. Because somewhere between this line and these two lines, it gets the data handle gets corrupted. I'm not sure. Okay, that might be a really. Oh. Okay, so it's true here, and then it goes into here. This is true, so this is true. This is valid right now. And then transform handle. Whoa, okay. What is this? What is this? This one line is corrupting it? The hell? Handle. Transform. Handle. Well, this is gonna be a fun one. Is that actually that might actually be just a Unity bug. I ran into, okay, last stream I literally got like 8 crashes because of a thing. Now granted, I've been testing out betas and alphas, so I mean okay. So alpha, that's true. This is true. This is true. Wait. Both values are true. Okay. This is true. But this is, oh my god, I know why. Oh my god, that's fucking, okay, no, that's just a noob stake. I know why. This is 100% on me. I am just, wow. This is a 100% on me thing. All right, cool. Whoops. That's not okay, let's try it out. I forgot the ref word. There should be like a yeah. My bad. So what was happening is I forgot to pass a value by ref. And so when I changed that value, it was working on the value of the cloned value structure, not the actual like reference structure. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Whoopsies, that's just me being stupid, my bad. So what I could do is I could say, this is actually not that bad. And the reason why like that was an issue is because we actually go into here. I'm modifying the values of an indexer. So what I need to do is I need to actually do this. This is actually a newbie mistake, man. I must be more tired than I thought. I shouldn't have made that mistake. Projectile wave. Actually, yeah. Let's do. So I need to actually do this. I've actually did that earlier, like a month or so ago, and I forgot about it. I need to actually say wave, set transform handle, and then what I need to do is I need to say projectile waves. Yeah, I actually have to do this. I equals wave, and then yep, there we go. Give it a second for ENT to recompile. I'm pretty sure. Okay, now if I actually go here, it should be. If I actually like go into the start wave thing, it actually should properly be working. And I'll just test this out real quick, make sure. Because yeah. Yeah, that's the fun part about working with structs, having a lot of like having the incovariant value, like passing in and all that kind of stuff. Let's go here. Yay, it's valid. Okay, that's literally what it was. Okay, we should have a valid entity ID as well. All right, valid entity ID. Okay, that's literally all it was. Whoops, my bad. All right, and the physics bodies. Yeah, so I also need to do something with these physics bodies as well. Because the reason why I say I gotta actually like do something with this, this actually should be yep, okay. And this is native array. So we'll have to do next part. Okay, so now we're back to the next part. Okay. But anyways, so we at least got that like started. Now I gotta like trying to figure out why that wasn't working was a fun part. So there should, it looks like there's like one more thing I gotta actually test out. Yeah, because this actually will not really work here. So I'm gonna have to actually like do this. I'm gonna have to actually do these two outside of this. I will have to keep them actually, like I will have to keep like some kind of decoration in here, or like that way like the struct doesn't say, hey, you need to actually, yeah, so you need to put that there. And instead I'll just say yeah, I actually will not be able to actually properly do this here, so I'm going to just say equals new. And here, instead of doing this, I'm going to say native array. I'm going to say physics body. I'm going to say should be a, or is that only listing? That might actually be only a list. There should be a way to, I believe it's like empty. I thought it was in like the collection, but it was like in the collection utilities. Nope. Okay. Well, I'll just do like we'll just do 0, and then I'll say like allocator allocator temp. Just so we have like default value, because that way it's struct grow. But we'll have to make sure at this point we will actually guarantee that the actual thing is here. Okay, so now since that's fixed, at least there should be all right. Yeah, we'll find out one piece at a time. Now, since we actually at least know that works. I still like to try to figure out why I'm not seeing like the actual like async timer playing. Oh yeah. Since we're not doing a job yet, or like we're not actually doing a job yet, I can actually just go down here and instead of saying like a temp job, I'll just say temp for now. All right, so we're on the last leg of trying to get this huge system working. I know it's been a long and fun journey, but once I actually get this going, I'll be able to do so much. Okay, All right, so should say 10 now. Thank you. Okay, thank God it actually said 10. All right, and that says it properly. That's getting passed in correctly. Or start correctly. Oh yeah, spawn. Make sure that okay, yeah, it actually has the actual like proper data. Not worried about the body yet. Transform handle. Okay, so we're going to need to also need to actually make it where like actually I could do this where transform handle equals a default of transform handle. I can actually just put this down here. This way I can put pass in a value, and what I'll do is where we're actually setting up the actual like circle spawn here, I can actually say pass in the transform handle I've been suffering trying to get working. So I can actually say handle here. Oh, wrong one. One above. Handle. And that should pass in the handle to the spawn pattern. And that should take care of one more thing. And we only have like a few more lines to make sure it works perfectly. We'll see if we're missing anything else. But hopefully, that's it. Hopefully like those 4 lines. It's a huge process, yeah, but the results, it's one of those things where you create a foundation and then like building on top of that foundation just makes everything super easy. But yeah, we're gonna do this. All right, so spawn, circle. So our actual thing, action, navigate, void spawn, yeah, good. Physics body, create body batch. Ten, create body batch, that should be correct. Oh, all right, that's where that last issue is. I just need to move this up. I actually completely forgot about the batch call. My bad. Completely forgot about the batch call down here. I actually have to do the batch call first. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do the batch call and then, and I think now since I'm actually like passing in this, I no longer need to set that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Also, this is used for like whenever the timer finishes, and then we actually reset timer. Wait, update sync. Yeah, that should be. Okay, so now if I could just figure out why the actual like oh, you know what? I just realized like also the timer is also not like updating like in the inspector. That's a fun one. Okay. But it is actually working because enemies are actually spawning, which is the fun part about what I'm trying to see what is going on here. But oh well. I need to just figure out why this one timer like is going on here. So actually, wait, let's go. I want to make sure. Duration. Let's do 2. That's a first one spawn, second wave spawn. Okay, yeah, so timers are actually working, but They're not updating, the inspector is not updating. I am curious. If I enter debug mode. Oh, that's so weird. So why, like, it actually is like updating like the values. We're gonna actually do this. I want to see debug.log. Remaining time. All right. Okay, it is. Okay, yeah, so timers are 100% working. What the fuck, Unity? Wait a second. Okay, hold on, hold on. If I actually go here. Oh, okay. Wait a second, that's weird. Okay, so timers are working. 100% timers are working. So, yeah, Oh yeah, so yeah, do this, then it passes on there, then it actually is getting assigned here. All right, so something about this. I wonder if it's because I'm trying to like, or let's actually see, if this is making some interesting head waves. So we got we got like the first wave projectiles spawn. We got it where like I can actually choose like the speed of projectiles, the pattern and stuff like that. But I want to see Unity. Okay. Unity. Do 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 do. All right, guys, I'm calling it. I'm going to go back to Unity 6.5 for streams. I wanted to test out Unity 6.6, but yeah. Yeah. All right. So thank you all for joining. I'm calling it. Holy crap. Yeah. It's gonna crash. Love you too, Unity. Love you too. Yeah, I'll go back to 6.5. I mean, see, I was wanting to test 6.6 beta, but that's a lot of crashes. That's a lot of crashes. I'm actually going to see what the crash report says. So yeah, guys, we're done playing with the beta 6.6 beta until it gets an update. When Core CLR comes out either this week or next week, I will try to alpha, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it for tonight. That's a fun night. So if you're not using burst compiler and stuff there, or like a certain like entity ID handle stuff, there's no like, it's really hard to crash 6.6 at the current moment. But for some reason right now 6.6 just has a lot of like crashes, which granted it's because they redid how they did asset database stuff. There was a lot of like asset database system updates and stuff like that, like actually how they like load artifacts and stuff. So I understand there being some things, but like the 6.6 alpha, the alpha didn't crash as much as the beta of the 6.6. If that's a fun thing to like think about, like yeah, literally the actual like 6.6 alpha, I had less crashes than 6.6 beta. That's the fun one. That is the that's I just oof. But for reference, like if anybody's wondering like, okay, why is there so many bugs? I'm gonna actually open this up for people just so anyone can see. Yeah, if you had NVIDIA, oh my God, this is NVIDIA. I'm so sorry for anyone that was using NVIDIA. I saw so many crashes. But like I was gonna show like the reason why 6.6 is having crashes before like in the stream. A lot of reason is because of two major changes. The changes are basically the where is it? So let's see if I can find it. I thought it would mention this. Oh yeah, they like changed like the how asset artifacts are like built, and burst compiler is also like being shoved as like built into the editor. So like Unity 6.6 actually has like the burst compile like built into the editor, and it's still all right. Yeah, we're calling it, guys. That is a I'll switch Unity versions because I don't know about you guys, but like the crashing is just like unreal. Say goodbye to crashing Unity. Do. Yep, there we go. The 6.7 alpha doesn't even crash like this. But thank you all for joining. We won't mess with the 6.6 beta until like they get an update or anything. But because like holy crap, that is a lot of crashes. This stream and the stream before, like the mesh generation, I had too many crashes. I don't want viewers to have to like sit for that. So take it easy, everyone. Tech Dave, Nev. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys in the next stream. Have a good